Get your day started right. From our shack to yours, this is Coffee and Ham Radios. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, damn, I played the wrong
Jesus
video.
Christ.
Like playing cards with my
It's
brother's
fine.
kids.
I
Can
don't
we
like
get to
the other-
Telemundo Girl instead of him?
No,
Actually, I prefer that over what we've been playing. So
I'm with
personally
Chuck. I'm in
saying-
Chuck.
Chuck, anytime you want to create a new intro, you
Oh
just go
my
right ahead.
God. At least I got the right logo up there before everything started.
All right.
Oh, no, that was just ugly. That was just me.
All better.
I almost did that. I almost did it. And I thought, no, that thing is way too long. I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys did 3 seconds of that other song, that'd be good.
I'm going to get with Coffee and Ham Radio, whoever does their, not Coffee and Ham Radio, Ham Radio Clubhouse.
That's us, Jim.
That's us, yeah. I'm going to get with Joe Brett's bunch and say, who does your music? Because I want to talk to them. We got
When you say
upgrade.
Joe Brett's bunch, you mean the other people he streams with, right?
Right, yeah.
I think that's Shane
Not
that does
his
that, isn't it?
bunch.
Yeah.
What
I don't know what Jim's been doing.
I don't know what he was talking
bunch,
about.
as in bunch of people, bunch of hooligans that he streams with.
They're claiming that it's Shane that does it when he's not
Shane.
here.
Well, I'm going to hit up Shane.
I can teach you boys how to make it, but you guys.
Oh,
haven't even-
I'm going to figure it out.
Volunteered music. All you do is whine and complain. It's like playing cards with my brother's kids.
Bro.
Well, I
intro
thought that was
that
just.
intro
I
is
thought that was
pretty,
just
pretty
on.
bad. I mean,
I just
It's
I'm
too
saying it with
long.
I'm saying it with love.
With love.
There's a lot of
There's-
problems. It's a little loud. It's a little
There's
pitchy.
reasons. It's a little loud. I'll give you that one. There's reasons for all of that. Now
That too.
you give me some constructive feedback, like Tio, here's a nice song that I like. Let me play this song
Well-
for you, and I will take that song, and if it's copyright free, I will gladly use it.
I was hoping you would put Lean Back
Well,
on there.
I thought that was just for Jim's channel. That was okay for that.
Really?
I can agree with that
Well,
one, Chuck.
it was your choice. I figured it was.
No,
your
it was
choice,
not
so-
my choice, Steve. I said we need to make an intro tune thing, and Steve said, "I got it," and then it was a
Don's-
fait accompli.
By we,
Don's
apparently,
saying
you
he's
guys
okay
can tell.
skipping it.
You can
He also
tell
wants you
they
off
all
his
mean me. They all want
Yes.
me to do it.
Yes,
Hey, I
We,
could give you
the
some
royal
good
we.
songs. I mean,
As long as they're
we
copyright
think
free.
that these should do it.
YouTube stuff.
I want to plug some
Have
stuff.
you
So I
ever
got my
done
list.
that though?
I got my list, and I have a spelling error on it. Stuff we need to plug today, and the first one is in the link at the bottom in the scroll bar.
Did we make him mad? What?
He's fine.
No.
And-
I had to stand up, and I wasn't wearing pants, and I didn't want to.
Okay, all right, good
didn't want
point.
to raise
Thank you.
the ratings at all.
Yeah, no big deal.
But
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted
what
to
his wife
mention-
said too.
Hey, calm down. I need to mention our buddy Rolly, and his link is I posted it, and I'm going to post it real quick in the chat. Rolly is doing some fundraising for the natives or the indigenous folk. I don't know what the right word is. Okay, I don't. In
He says thanks.
at Papua New Guinea. And what he's trying to do is get them an amateur radio station on the air, work with them to get licensed so they have communications capabilities and they can have some fun on the radio while they're at it. And so I just
And
linked
New-
his
New
GoFundMe.
Guinea is pretty darn remote too. So
I don't know anything about it. I'm just being honest with you.
Nothing.
They don't have
the
the-
for ham radio.
it's in
If
the
they don't
South
have a-
Pacific.
When you say the South, do they have a Stuckey's and a Waffle House there? Or
No, farther south, like Florida, South.
Oh,
yeah. But
criminal.
Rolly's a good guy, and he is doing the he's
The
fighting
Lord's
good
work.
cause. Yeah.
Yes, he is. Absolutely.
And we have some other exciting news.
Thank you.
Uh,
Phil.
What are you
Appreciate
talking
that.
about?
Turd.
Chuck has been stuffing boxes last
Oh,
couple of days. Chuck, you want to tell us about the box stuffing you've been doing?
Which at his age is just a miracle.
Well, we've got our Apollo. We announced our Apollo. I think Tio did a little
Look at that
quick-
fresh
I don't-
brim
I
on
didn't
that
watch
hat.
it.
That's right out the box, boy.
Almost straight.
He is correct.
It was straight, but so I've been putting together little Coffee and Ham radio kits. Has all the little parts in it, and then there's-
Showing us his sack.
and then
This is parts.
the other
Check
the other
out
half
my
of the kit,
parts, boy.
You get this thing, you can't show it very long.
Why can't you show it?
Oh, I don't know.
Woof, look at the back of that head from working on the yurt.
Look at that farmer tan that boy's got going.
Look at I got the white
The
eyes.
sunglass bags, yeah.
Yeah, and then then this is the rest of the kit here.
Nice.
And some of them actually say not 8, but gorilla on them, but not that one. It was close. So I did up 22 of those kits today, and I think I did 30 of them the other day. The only thing I don't have is the extra 22 wires. And that's when I do the wire, that will be we're what we have for now until we get some more wire.
So then over there on the barefootguys.com, right, you can pick up one
Yep.
of the new Apollo antennas. Is
Live. They are
our
live.
40 through 10 meter end-fed halfway dipole kit.
Halfway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And we have sold, what did we decide? 11, Chuck? Does that sound right? 11, 12?
Can't
No,
count.
it's I think I got rid of
Well, I don't know.
15.
I don't know the up-to-date numbers. It might be 15. I don't
15
remember.
total.
Going to be sold out soon.
So we have a limited inventory. Supplies are limited. You should act now. And if you act today, within the next 15 minutes,
Their normal price.
Ape will dance for you just for free
Right, sure.
without a super chat. Otherwise, you got to pay him to dance.
I thought you were trying to sell these.
If you don't buy antennas, Ape is going to dance without his shirt on.
And
Right.
I will say that, let's see, what is tomorrow? Friday. Anything that gets ordered tonight and early tomorrow will get sent out tomorrow.
What is our cutoff for tomorrow,
Well,
Chuck?
unless we got some. What, to take them down?
I think
know
you
what?
just said it was tomorrow's cut off. You'd send them the next day.
Yeah,
Well, I mean-
if you get in early by like 10 tomorrow, I should have it. I should be able to get them over
10 Central Time.
Yeah.
Because I got to do the postage. So I'm just asking, what time do I need to have them to you to get them shipped tomorrow? If
Oh,
they order
certainly
tonight
if
or
you can.
tomorrow.
Like 8 o'clock
Okay.
my time.
Yeah. So by 10 a.m. tomorrow, they will get shipped tomorrow.
If my
After that,
printer
it'll be
does not-
Monday.
If my printer does not act up, then
Gotcha.
it goes good.
And then we wanted to talk about the Saturday show. What I don't even know. What is the Saturday show? Is it planned yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
We-
planned. It's
we-
all set up, ready to go.
It's all-
We
discussed
talked
this
about it in the
anyway.
chat today. You were
Where
there.
were you?
Listen, I've been busy. I'm trying to catch up.
Oh.
So I was out of town for a week, and then I had the
Don't
COVID.
even
I was
talk
down-
about
down
busy.
hard
Is he
with the
playing the
COVID.
COVID thing again? He's still wearing them. Son, you
I'm
wore
just
that
playing that
excuse
ticket.
out a week ago.
Listen, I'm back in live action form. I'm just telling you the truth. I was busy. I didn't have time to read your misspelled chat messages
you
that you're
need-
posting in there.
Do you need another pumpkin spice latte?
I guess he
down,
does.
Karen. Calm
Man.
down.
I do.
Oh, Lawnmower points out a fabulous fact. Monday is a postal holiday, so if you want to order this and get it
Oh,
shipped
damn.
tomorrow, it needs to happen by 10 a.m. Central, or it ain't shipping until Tuesday.
I think they're making
Saturday. You can ship out on Saturday, son.
Well, I don't know if Chuck will. Yes, the mail runs. Does Chuck run?
Well, what's really good for me is it's just like 3 blocks from my house. So I mean, I've gone down.
Yeah, but it still takes you
I
20
know-
minutes to get out to the car. I mean,
he's gotta get his
whether
walker out
whether it's
first.
3 miles or 30 miles, you still got to get
Well,
you got to get your rascal.
I'll tell you what. When I get home from the yurt build, I'm not
yurt.
sure I'm gonna. I need one of those handicap stickers. So I can just park in front of my house anyhow. But it's
Yeah, you know how California is.
that first 4 steps, man.
I heard
awesome.
that California is going to
Beautiful weather.
ban cars with gasoline. Is that true, Chuck?
I'm sure they will.
By 2035, new cars sold
California
have to be
leads
electric.
the way, baby.
That's why I
Yeah, but
keep
you ain't got
getting
no
sold
electric
out.
to keep the electric turned on, so we're going to go to
So keep
electric
getting-
cars.
Not as bad as
And
Texas.
speaking of running out of stuff, what about Mississippi? Everybody down there in Mississippi, good luck to you. They're thirsty, is my understanding. They can't get water in the capital. Is that right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's your neighbors, Jim, right?
That
Right?
doesn't mean I hang out with them. I mean,
We have to
Joe
ask
Brett's
Joe
over
Brett.
there.
What is
Ask
the
Joe
what is
Brett.
the
Reporter
capital?
on
Is
the
it
scene.
Jackson? Is
Jackson,
it Jackson,
Jackson.
Mississippi?
Hey,
Jackson.
He don't have no cousins in Mississippi.
None. Mine are all in Illinois.
Kankakee. Back when I was in Kankakee, and then I was in,
Kankakee.
Bingo.
I think that we need to add 2 words. Right, Kankakee is one, and I think the other one is Montgomery. So I was watching one of the old videos the other day, and Jim said Montgomery more than anybody I've ever heard in my
Montgomery
life.
Fire.
Right? He's like, when I was with Montgomery Fire, at the
I was
Montgomery
never with
County-
Montgomery Fire. No, never. Not once. Not for a minute.
I don't know. I think you said it.
I said it, but I wasn't with them. No, I did not make that mistake. Negative, Batman. That's like saying I was a Navy SEAL. No, I'm a Gravy SEAL, possibly. Meal Team 6 all day.
Real Team 6.
I was saying that about Vern 6. I was like, he's Vern Team 6.
Vern Team 6.
Vern's got a new.
All right, well, that's
YouTube
all the
channel, by the
plugging.
way.
Yeah,
We get all
Vern
the-
has a new YouTube channel. He's getting started, so y'all throw him a sub.
He should do a build of a new antenna I just sent him like 2 days ago.
He's
day
going
before
to,
yesterday,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, he was in the first batch.
He was.
Oh, he
One of the
got
first guys.
he got an Apollo.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he's actually told me he's gonna do a build video on it.
cool. He's
So-
like one of the
Put it
first
on the
guys.
playlist.
Yeah.
Vern's YouTube channel is called "What's Up with 6." I'll get y'all a link.
Yeah, T.O.'s
that
gonna
kinda
drop
guy.
a link.
Plasma says
Awesome, man.
they're climbing out of control. His subs.
He's talking about subscriptions on YouTube, not a steak and cheese, right?
Right.
Or maybe. Are you sure? Subs. knows?
Somebody just posted that. I'm assuming it's TO because
It is.
it was posted correctly.
Says the guy who hit the wrong button.
I hit the one I wanted to watch, son.
475.
Philip is saying that when we're going to cover this and then we're going to talk about vertical antennas. When I was in high school, I had a buddy and his name was Philip, and he worked at a McDonald's. And me and the rest of the fellas would call McDonald's every day, and just to get Phil in trouble. So I'd call him. I'd be like, "Hey man, is Philip there?" And the manager would be like, "Yeah, Philip's working." I'm like, "Listen, you SOB, you get him on the phone right now." And the guy would get mad, but he couldn't do anything to me because I wasn't there. So he would get mad at my friend Phil, and then the manager would yell at him and all that stuff. I'm like, "If these people call back, you're going to get fired." And then my buddy would call right back, and then we end up getting him fired. It's terrible. It's terrible what we did to each other, isn't it?
You're a sketchy son of a gun,
You know,
man. I knew it. I knew
Vern's
it.
got a video.
And you didn't have to join the army to do
94,000 views.
that.
No.
He's got, Vern's got more videos than Jim.
No.
He's got one.
Vern
He's
does
got
not.
one with 94,000 views. That's more views than you got.
He has
Nice,
more
yeah.
views than I have total, probably. But
Who, Vern?
I don't have one that
Yeah.
high. It's on Purex. RV holding tank deodorizers.
so your poo is your
good.
pu-
That's why
It's all
it's not about
poo.
ham.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
about
all
ham.
about the
That's why it's
poo.
got views.
I don't want to break it down, but it's been a
It
couple
was
years now.
Brian. I look much younger than I really am. It's clean living. Clean living has kept me looking young.
light beer.
So
Light
we're
beer.
talking about vertical antennas is the topic du jour, right? And so
De jure?
yeah. And so we
fancy.
wanted
Got
to talk
mine.
a little bit about them, a little bit about some vertical antenna options. It's my understanding that all three of you boys have vertical antennas in your arsenal, right? And,
Indeed.
And I wanted to start off. I just recently got a Comet GP1, which is a dual band, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, vertically polarized antenna. And I wanted Chuck to explain a little bit about vertical versus horizontal polarization for 2 meters, because it's a thing. And I was hoping he could shed a little light on that for us.
You can vertical's really good for FM stuff like repeaters and handy talkie to handy talkie. And if you can talk to somebody vertical to horizontal, but you'll lose quite a bit of signal. Now, if you're doing sideband, you want to go horizontal, but doesn't mean you can't use a vertical. It's just your signal. Most people will be horizontal, and it's shorter ranges. I think when you get out in that longer range, it really matters in the HF world. But when you're going a couple hundred miles or something, it does make a difference. But I've checked into that the Bozo net, and Mike, the guys in charge of the people vertical, and we're all pretty much horizontal, and their signals are there. It still works, and I know in 6 meter also, it'll work at 6 also, but usually horizontal is better for 6 meter for sideband stuff.
So you
I've
could
never
use
done-
a ham
I've never done
stick,
repeaters.
right, for that too, as well, right?
You could take 2 ham sticks
Mm-hmm.
and set them horizontally in a dipole, and that would work.
That would be awesome.
Well, I knew a guy
sideband.
who told me that
Somebody say hamstick.
he mounted
You could
his
turn it sideways,
2
too.
meter dipole horizontally because he wanted to get NVIS.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either because
I'm
I'm pretty sure 146 megahertz is above the muff.
Yes.
Right? And so it's going right through. It's going right through the alleged ionosphere. So I wanted to ask Chuck, because I really don't
Me
know
too,
the
Phil.
answer. Why is the convention for 2-meter single sideband to have something horizontally versus vertically polarized? I really don't know the answer to that.
Probably just works better for distance and stuff. I don't really know if that's just the way people decide to do it, or, I mean, you can talk vertical to vertical on
Sure.
sideband too.
Sure, I don't see why you wouldn't. And
But
to
I don't
me,
think you'll get the distance. And most of your gain antennas, like I did that video on gain antennas, are like horizontal anyhow. They're Yagis, So you're gonna get more distance out of a Yagi than you are just a straight vertical. I mean,
well, you're not using skywave. You're not using
them.
skywave propagation with 2 meters, right? Because again, it's above the muff, and so it's going to go through. So I was
going to penetrate right through.
Yeah. So I was just like, why wouldn't you just use vertically polarized for everything? Because I would think that would make it easier. Somebody did a video. I can't remember who it was, but they had somebody who had a Yagi, and they would turn it. They had it horizontally polarized, and they showed their S signal coming in on the radio, and then the person flipped it to vertical.
I saw that. Who was that? Sean Kutsko? Was he doing some satellite?
I can't remember who did it, and I don't remember what the delta was in the. Here we go.
It'll drop a lot.
Little Hollywood saying it's because there's a 20 dB null.
Oops.
You knock it off, as y'all.
That was late.
Vertical is on the repeaters because ants are omni, and if stacked to have game. Okay,
right.
So that's that. So what you're talking about
true,
is stacking. Okay,
yeah.
There you go. There's the answer.
If you actually once you get past 3 or 4 elements, stacking actually does more good. Like 2 small antennas, so you have six elements on one, and then 2 small 3 elements will probably do as good or better.
Now, if you don't, if you do keep them with the same polarization, then you're gonna end up with trying to have a phased array, and at that point, then it becomes a function of wavelength of the frequency you're interested in, and getting that set correctly so that it's additive, and you're not subtracting your RF.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So appreciate Hollywood for telling us that, because I was like, I really didn't know. I don't do any.
You do want your repeaters
so.
And stuff to be 360. You don't really want them to. There are some that are. Some repeaters do have like Aggies on them, but I think they're more specialized.
Well, I think what he's saying is that when you have stacked
repeaters,
Yagis on top of each other, I'm assuming the ground has something to do with that versus vertical Yagis next to each other. You get a more
you could do
isolated
you could do vertical sideways and vertical, and yeah,
sure.
Hollywood, don't they use right hand and left hand on DirecTV on the satellite stuff? It's circular polarization, not right. I'm asking.
I don't know. But whoever did it had a pretty good description of how much loss you have. So if you're trying to receive on a vertical on 2 meters and they're blasting you on a horizontal, it's significant. And I want to say it was somewhere around half power, right? So if you have like an S8 signal the same way, then you're looking at S4 would be half, right?
When I took that what was it, 10 or 11 element Yagi out and did some 2 meter. And when I was talking to what's his name, the Green Donkey guy, and I said, well, this is 5 watts, and all of a sudden somebody pops in. I can hear your 5 watts in Fresno. And I was in Northern California. Fresno's down south between here and LA. And that was Mike from M Squared Antennas. And what he told me, because that antenna was supposed to be set up with vertical and horizontal at the same time. He told me if you take that horizontal and turn it to 45, you only lose just a couple decibels on that, and it'll do both equally well. If you don't want to, he says sometimes that's an easy way to get by. I have a 7 element up on my tower for 2, and I thought about making a hydraulic where I could move it up and down, so it would be vertical, so I could tilt it from.
So that's the purpose of the egg beater style antennas for satellite as well, I believe, Chuck. is
Yeah.
they're not they're
'Cause you're kind of doing both.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, it's better than doing just one, right? Either way, this way you've got something both on horizontal and vertical polarization.
If you're doing portable solar, if you're trying to do, you might try that.
Plus the satellites are
small
rotating,
Yankees for
right?
the satellites. You might go part way, and it
Yeah.
might work better. I don't know. I don't do much. I tried satellites one time.
Well, that's several
And I
people do that.
heard-
They just have it fixed. They use a Yagi, they aim it.
That's
There's
what Sean
no,
did. Sean just had his fixed Yagi, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he was just doing his thing. He said he didn't have one that was on whatever
on a
they
dingus,
are. Yeah.
an
But I mean,
azimuth,
a lot
and
of people are
elevation.
just do it with a
rotor.
vertical HC,
Azell,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Just two little HC sometimes.
Jim,
yeah.
that's
you
gonna be
can
your
do
new
the
ham nickname,
What
dingus?
SL?
Azell.
SL. I like that.
I
So
thought
I'm
it was
like
dingus
Kal-El's
SL.
Kal-El's grandpa or
Is that
something.
ASSEL?
So what do you got
Z.
there,
It's a
James?
Z. It's a
What are
Z,
you
Chuck.
sipping on, son? It's
That
not
would
your
be-
normal Dr. Pepper
What
there.
is
That would be
It's
a
backwards.
Pabst
How come it's
PBR.
backwards?
Pabst Blue Ribbon, baby.
How
Because
come
you don't know how to
everything's
operate
backwards?
a camera.
I do not operate the camera, but this way, when I point that way at that dingus, it points
Oh.
that way. I just got the camera flipped.
So your Izod's backwards too. Your little alligator's on the wrong side.
Yeah. See, you trying to trick me? He's still there, and that's Chuck.
Is
And
he
that's
wearing
Steve.
is he wearing an Izod shirt today? Is
No,
that
I don't
what
own any eyes. It's a Columbia.
He can't figure out that you pop.
He doesn't have his
opposite.
collar popped, so that is
See,
It's
watch
not
this.
Izod.
Chuck
What
has
is
it
it?
down pat.
Oh, it's not.
Chuck, where am I?
Columbia.
You're there.
See?
Yeah, Chuck's good
got
at that.
this.
I'm not so good at it.
I'm not. I'm challenged. That's why the camera is reversed, because now I can point the actual direction.
I have to think about it though.
All right, well,
And also, I will also flip it depending on where you mopes put me in the thing, so it looks like I'm looking at yous. So whatever.
So vertical antennas are great though. I mean, Callum. I mean, he sells a million of those.
Let's not get
probably sold
crazy,
a million.
Don.
What?
hey, a Colt 45 works every time.
So Callum,
You guys remember
the
the commercials about Billy D? Like I remember when I
Yeah,
was a kid.
yeah,
I was like, man, Billy D is cool as hell.
badass.
Yep,
Hell
and then he
yeah.
was Lando Calrissian.
That's right.
And with the cape, he had that sweet cape, and I thought he was the man.
Did
And
you
then
wear
he
that
sold-
to school? Did you dress up like Lando at school?
I
I
agree.
would
buddy.
have, but then he sold out. Han Solo.
Yeah, he
and,
did.
And
But he made up for it later.
yeah, but at the time, no, he done him dirty, and that was
He was trying to hook up with his squeeze.
that's true. I guess it's okay if you, but
I mean, bro code, your man is frozen. He ain't coming back. So bro code says green light, baby.
yeah, I don't know. But
Couldn't
I
ask you
did.
first, so he
I
couldn't
did, I
say
did
no.
like the old Colt 45 commercials. And when I was in, you're talking about high school. When I was in high school, Colt 45 came out with a Cool Shot. You guys remember Colt 45 Cool Shot?
Nope.
It's terrible. There's like a
Y'all are
menthol
older than
flavored.
me.
There's like a menthol flavored malt liquor.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
menthol.
I'm with you. So you all three of you have DX Commanders. I don't. And yeah, that's that being the probably
Mine's a
prime
Chuck
example.
Command. Two of mine are Chuck Commanders.
our Lord Callum in England. Please forgive him. He knows not what he does.
You know, when Cal comes on the show, we're gonna have to ask you to sit out.
Well,
Right.
the thing is like I can't put up the Expedition or the Classic in my backyard
here
because
comes the
antenna-
HOA card.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Whatever.
It would quickly become an issue. The other one is that I've got kids and dogs and everybody running around out back and barbecuing. I'm
Your
out there
kids are
doing the flat bird.
grown.
They
I mean,
still
we're
out
not
back
talking
all the
like they're
time.
10-year-olds
in
running around out
college.
there
They're still
kicking
out back.
little.
And so
And you
my
have
problem-
a tactical Yorkie.
Yeah,
Just running
it's not-
wild at the ape household.
and I
Man,
can't have all them. I can't have all the radials out on the
Control
on the
them
ground.
kids.
So
Bury 'em.
whatever I have out there would have to
Bury
be
Bury
a-
the kids. Bury them alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bury
Chuck,
'em.
good
chill them kids out. Chill them kids out.
I just don't see.
I
it
was
happening.
talking radios myself, but
So why did you
takes,
boys? I don't care who goes first. Why did you boys decide on the DX Commander?
Because I read a whole bunch of stuff on the YouTube and
You
saw
ain't
a whole
read
bunch
no-
of stuff on the YouTube.
Read on YouTube.
I know.
Read it
It's
on
a
YouTube.
metaphor. Just go with it.
So
That said it's a good
Mrs. Dio
antenna.
had a thing for Cal, and she bought the antenna, and here it is.
Did you try the Cal haircut for a while?
Me? No.
Yes,
I did.
you.
I did.
I could tell. Yeah.
Made my hair fall out.
I had a Maldol HVU8, which was like a multi-band vertical, and it was
Never heard of
on. It was crap. It's under like 17 different names, and you guys have talked about it on this show before, and it was hot garbage. And I don't have a place where I can stand up, 50, 60 feet of tower and all that. I got that thing, and the difference between the $300 piece of hot crap in my backyard and that DX Commander was night and day. Tremendous difference.
Well, it's a fantastic antenna, but my understanding is the design principles of a vertical antenna are nice because they have a lower takeoff angle, provided an appropriate ground plane. Right. And then the lower the takeoff angle, that's called your incident angle, that reflects off the alleged ionosphere, and a more obtuse angle, allowing your signal to go further and allow you to get more DX and expanded skip zone. Right. I took geometry.
All right.
But that's my understanding there. So with your DX Commanders, how about you guys talk about your ground planes that you put out there for them? Like, what did you end up doing for those?
I just do what Cal said to do. Like mine are like 12 to 15 feet long, and I put about 20 or 30 of them out. About 20. I've taken it portable, but I don't like setting it up portable unless I'm going to be there for a day or two. If I'm just going out for just a quick POTA,
I've seen people set them up fast, but I'm with you, man.
I can set it up fast, but it's
Matt here
it's a
can
lot
throw
of work.
that thing up like nobody's business.
It's still a lot of work, though.
Yeah,
I can
it
throw
is.
up just a vertical for 20 in like less than 5 minutes.
I do
same
5.
Thing. It's the same thing still.
If you're going portable, you don't need 32 radials though. Four will get you done.
Yeah, I don't do less than 10 or 12.
Here I've got 5 or
That's
6
easy.
batches of 5 radials each, and they're 15 feet long.
Do you guys have insulated radials, or you guys?
Yeah.
I'm using the DX. I bought 2 rolls of DX10 when I bought my antenna, so I have DX10 radials.
See, I built my first 2, and I just use that aluminum speaker wire. It's aluminum copper clad, and it doesn't have to be anything special usually. And I don't like wasting good wire for my radials.
Dusty, that's a great question. And what I've done is thrown the radials out and then ignored the corner where it all is until when it's not 100 degrees outside, and then I'll pull them all up and weed eat the crap out of it. I have staples. I've just not been motivated to take my old butt out there in the sun and the heat and staple all them wires down.
Yeah, he could do that. He could.
Mine have completely disappeared.
Get those kids to work.
Yeah, they will. They will
disappear.
Yeah, they will disappear.
What?
Cut it low
into the ground. I don't know.
The radials. No, they will. They will. And mine, I didn't even. Mine are just chucked out there, but now the grass has grown up over them, and of course, right now in that corner where it is kind of an isolated spot. The grass is about 12 inches high, but it's out of sight. The old lady hasn't complained about it. It's in the backyard. No one can see it. So
Raphael does 29 footers. It doesn't
probably snakes in it, but
it's the amount of wire you get on the ground more than it is the links. Unless you're doing, if you do like 4 though, like T.O. is saying, you better. I think,
but it is linked to a certain degree, right? Because there's, a couple of things that the ground plane does is one is it does capacitive coupling to the earth, right? Which is an important thing to do. But as your signal, so you have your vertical antenna, as your signal comes off, it goes up, but it also comes down. And if you don't have a good ground, your signal is absorbed by the earth. If you do have a good ground plane, your signal hits that and is reflected up at the same angle as your incident angle off of that it comes into the ground at. And so that's important, right? To make sure you're maximizing what's going up to the alleged ionosphere. Kevin Ghosh, that's what I call it, the alleged ionosphere. You just have to get over that. And so that's another thing that it does. So the more copper that you have down, the better, right? The better off that you are.
Hollywood, what are you saying?
I don't think it has to be copper even. Really.
Let's address this. 200 radials at a quarter wavelength?
So the thing is that when you look at the book, the more radials, the better. And the thing is that you want them to be a quarter wave on the lowest frequency that you're going to operate. Now, you can compromise that by having more that are shorter. And I think that's what some of the antenna manufacturers are saying. and it'll work, but then there's work and works well, right? And that's why I say that it does matter, the length
We
of
have
the radials.
diminishing returns eventually.
Yeah.
You do
Once
get diminished.
you get past a
diminishing
few,
returns.
you don't. It doesn't really help.
You get
much.
this hockey stick where it's
Well,
and
Yeah.
then to-
But
you
it's
know,
I wanna
actually
know
it's an upside
It's
down.
the other
hockey
other
stick.
way.
Carlos,
Steve.
Carlos says he has 1,000 feet of radios
lay
down.
mine
Is that
down.
for his Nebula?
I was a goalie.
I bet you for that Nebula, he's got a crap load of them.
Well,
now.
see,
I don't
Carlos is also
think it died.
able to cheat and use his neighbor's yard for some of this too. So
Uh-oh.
So he's Don's saying not after 32 radials, and that when you start
Yeah.
to look at the chart in the handbook, 32 is about
Okay.
the number where it starts to
And
peel
32
off.
is full length one, so.
Yeah, and then the other one Phil's talking about broadcast antennas. Yes, they do, and they have some rules, I believe, about significant ground planes, and I've even seen pictures and diagrams and stuff like that where they actually use a disc as opposed to radial, so they actually have an artificial ground plane that's there. And one of the things I was surprised about, like down in this, like in Florida, Mississippi, and stuff like that, a lot of the radio stations actually put their towers out in the marshes
Swamp. Yep.
because they are the salt water or brackish water, and that helps with it a little bit. See, I got you. I
Why
got
don't
you.
you dig your
Hollywood.
yard up, Ape? Dig up your yard, get you some stainless steel chicken wire, throw that
Yeah.
stuff down, and then throw your sod right over the top of it. Hook your radios.
I guess Carlos
use
doesn't
that
have
for
his
radios.
Nebula up anymore because it got.
I think it broke.
But didn't he get insurance money? He should have got another one, right?
Well, Carlos probably spent it on booze or something.
Yeah.
We
You know,
already
it's
brought him into
Carlos.
ham court once. Do we need to bring him back?
Well, yeah, if he used the insurance money for illicit purposes.
Of course he did. We know.
That's what I'm
Carlos.
saying. He probably didn't spend it on the antenna. He probably went out and got a set of new rims and lowered his car. Who knows?
Lowered his car. With his Honda
On the way,
Accord.
it
I don't know.
says.
What do you
He's on the
drive?
Accord.
What do you-
He's a
what do you
fancy
drive?
pants boy. He's got a BMW shooting brake,
Oh,
BMW Estate.
So Don's asking about
Le
raised
diesel.
radials have to be exactly a quarter wave. Yeah, and so I would never have an elevated vertical antenna. Now the question is that what is
That's a
elevated?
question. Yes,
Right?
I want to
What
know
is
that.
elevated?
What is elevated?
Like if it's 2 inches off the ground, I don't know the answer to that.
Hollywood
I've had
said
mine
something about
elevated as
7
high as the
feet.
window on my truck, and then used ground radials and not elevated radials.
Well, I had
Did
a
you notice a difference?
It tuned up just fine.
It worked just fine. But you don't have
I
like a
had-
control.
No, I'd have to go back to that same frozen lake and do the experiment all over again with a raised radial.
Chip chop, son.
Well, I got to wait for the lake to freeze. February.
That'll be like 2 weeks from now. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't know
Wisconsin.
about doing all that.
Chuck, what you
I
saying?
I had a 11-meter antenna up, and it was about 30 feet raised, and it had its own radios that were the right length and everything on that, and it worked pretty good. I probably the reason that didn't work as good as it could have here is probably because of takeoff angle, though, because I'm surrounded. Because it was weird. My buddy in Georgetown could talk to another buddy that was over in up just above me.
What's that noise?
It's crickets. I keep hearing it too.
That was your work coming in. And he could talk to him, but he couldn't talk to me. But I could talk to the guy up on the hill too, but I couldn't talk to my buddy. And then one day I went up on the hill behind my house, and I got him from my Forerunner. It may not had more than 4 watts, but so height is might. I don't know. I've had such good luck with it.
not
with that
me.
vertical on
It
the
is
ground
you.
though.
What? Oh, you hear my cell phone making
No,
noise.
no, the cricket.
The crickets.
It's gone now. And now it's
Oh
back.
yeah, it's back.
That noise. So that was my phone, but there was something else. Somebody else's phone rang.
My
or somebody got it.
phone rang.
My phone ain't
so-
going off.
It was my boss,
No, it's not
or
me.
one of my
Oh,
bosses.
Chuck, you're
My
married
yurt
to your
boss.
boss. Oh, your yurt boss. Okay.
My yurt boss was calling me. He's trying to line up another day. I'm gonna have to tell him, no, I can't do it that day.
So Hollywood is right. So I think that a lot of these vertical antenna that you can buy, they have these ground radials, which makes them a little bit more forgiving from an SWR meter. And so a lot of times amateur radio operators look at SWR as the final metric for efficiency. And that
the
might not be
grail.
that might not be the way to go.
So, but we haven't answered the question. Hollywood, I'm asking you, brother. What is elevated? How high do I have to? At what height do I need to be concerned about tuning radials? So with a
I say
DX
about
Commander,
yay high. About yay high.
what is? I mean, in Alabama we use the metric, not the we use.
You use the metric system in Alabama?
I switch hit. I don't know what you people do in Nebraska. I mean, are we talking 3 feet,
We don't
4
use
feet,
no
5
European
feet?
metric system. I can tell you that.
Above the height of an average human.
Okay.
That's
So
different.
elevated.
It's different in Alabama than
taller
it is
than
in Nebraska.
Carlos. Taller than Carlos.
I'd say at least 10 foot personally.
He's a little below
I mean,
average.
And that's what your 10 foot's your chain
One
link fence
Carlos,
top, right?
one Carlos high, is
And a half
the,
of Joe Brett. I mean, Joe Brett ain't real tall either. Mhm.
No, he's not.
Well, isn't Carlos like 4'5" or something? I haven't seen him
4'9".
personally.
He's got a lot of hair. He
4'9".
seems
It
taller
depends on how
with the
many
hair.
jumps he did that day.
Right.
Oh, his hair.
I imagine hitting the ground,
Static electricity.
shorten you up a little bit.
Taller than an Oompa. That's right.
I swear that I'm taller in the morning than I am at the end of the day. Like when I get up and I go in to brush my teeth, the sink feels lower to the ground than it does when I brush them at night. That's just what I swear.
Yeah. Well, don't swear.
Well, I got to tell you, Ron, I think that that's hogwash, right? I think that
Yeah.
somebody
Well, we
about to
knew
get
you
banned. I think that is a BS is the way I would look at that. You can't have these verticals with no radial systems, right?
You know, I've
You
got
have to have the other half of the
hustler.
dipole.
Yeah.
Wherever you put
Because
it, I don't
yeah.
care, but you have to have it.
Unless
So
you're
with
doing
an go ahead.
Oh,
Chuck.
so with the NFED, is
Unless
what
you have a
you're saying
half-wave.
that counterpoint is important.
Halfways don't need it. Ground.
That was what I was going to ask, Chuck. You beat me to it. Very good. So with an
65 foot
Apollo,
tall pole.
I don't have to have a counterpoise for that antenna to work. So what is it? Because it's a half wave as opposed to this quarter wave vertical.
You need one. The thing is that right. The thing is that the alternating current that's getting squirted out of the end of the coax cable has no idea that it's an NFED half wave dipole or an NFED vertical, and you still have the magic of differential mode current, right? Where it works against each other. So in the event that you don't have a ground or a counterpoise system out there, it comes around and uses the outside of the shield as the other half of your antenna, which electrifies that and then makes it actually work as an antenna, so it can actually receive signals. And if your coaxial cable is not the right length, or you don't have it choked and it's coming further down, you can actually pick up frequencies that are undesired, right? They're not the ones that you have your antenna cut for.
Now that would affect your SWR as well.
It could do all kinds of stuff, and it can even shock you. It can even
Right.
shock you. Now, the thing is it a problem? I don't know. There's probably a million problems with the average ham shack, right? And so if that's not the biggest one, then you might not have to
Budget
worry about
being
it.
the first of them.
Right.
Right.
But adding a radial or radials to anything isn't going to break it. I'm not going to make the Apollo a worse antenna by adding 30 feet of radials.
No.
Or a little, a pigtail
30,
full of
10
five.
foot radials ain't going to hurt it.
Well, you
either.
know what I'm saying. I mean, if I'm going to add a radial, maybe I'll go crazy. Maybe I'll, add 15
50.
feet times 5
Yeah.
and make a fan or something on the
But
ground.
you want them to be on the ground, right?
Right.
So like Holly was mentioning, once they're above the ground, then they all of a sudden become radiators, right? And
You have to
then
be
they
resonant.
can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. The radials.
Yeah.
The
So
radials.
one of the things that they were, somebody was telling me about once was that they had a dipole that was mounted in the air, but they didn't feel that their ground was good enough. So they buried the chicken wire. We call it critter mesh here. They buried the critter mesh under the ground in order to get a better ground for their dipole antenna.
Yeah, that's on my to-do list. That's on my to-do list this winter.
I guess you would need galvanized or something, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't just corrode and rust away or whatever.
Stainless.
Stainless.
Because
Yeah.
I put the galvanized
will
stuff in
rust.
my yard.
I think it all
now.
comes galvanized.
I don't know.
It
Yeah.
is.
I've seen
How long
people
did it
use
last, Chuck?
galvanized as like a
lasted
white trash grill, and
It
that
lasted
can poison
5 to
you.
10 years, maybe.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I mean, it's still there because it's the metals in the ground still, I guess. but-
right. And
Maybe
I mean,
that's
it's
why
just not
Lanterns
as
are good.
efficacious as brand new shiny.
Efficacious. Are you trying
Yeah.
to keep up with ape
Fancy
today?
pants.
I can-
Fancy
I can-
pants for it.
If you
I
get
can outrun
fancy,
ape. I can
throw
outrun
some
ape.
chain link down there.
I
That'll
don't,
last
I don't know
longer.
about that.
Yeah, chain link would last because it's thicker. It takes longer to
Right.
rust all the way through.
Right.
And you can
But you want to get like
downloaded
that
chain link.
that half-inch critter mesh. You know what I mean? Not chicken wire.
You're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
hog.
Hardware
You're
cloth.
talking hog wire or something, or hardware
Yeah.
cloth.
No.
Yeah.
The stuff you use for rabbit cages, hardware cloth.
See, I put it down to keep the gophers out, and the reason I knew it was gone is because the gophers are coming through now. So
But I mean, that's going to increase your ground. That's going to enhance your radial field, right?
yeah, I'm going to
So-
redo my yard. and
Jim,
do
you
it
pee in the
right,
backyard to help yours too, right? Don't you?
Right,
Oh, I pee on
absolutely.
my own
Backyard
all the
pee
time.
right on
backyard
the
pee.
right
That's
on
what
his
you do.
ground.
I try to hit that plate.
Contest
You know,
time, I'm
and
peeing.
it's like, how far away can I be before, and still hit the plate, the ground plate?
That's right.
All right.
And I mean, I'm trying to save flush water, man. This is Alabama. That water has to come from somewhere.
So what is Don saying? This is an actual RF technique. The RF engineers at work recommend the dipole above a ground mesh as a better
Okay.
HF antenna.
That makes
There
sense.
you go. There you go.
Oh,
Useful
we found something plasma, doesn't know finally.
I can't believe you hadn't Googled that already. Efficacious
can't
means
believe it.
functionally useful. So, like if you have medication, your aspirin, for example, has a date on it. It doesn't go bad after the date, but as it gets past its date, it's not as efficacious. The efficacy is not as good because it's not as useful.
Hey,
It
gonna
doesn't
tell
serve
you-
its purpose.
Plasma Storm needs to watch himself because he posted a picture the other day in the
Oh,
Num Nums
oh
channel,
my
and
God.
he claimed that there were mashed potatoes in the picture. I looked high and
didn't
low,
see no mashed
and I didn't see any
There's
mashed
no mash
potatoes.
in there.
So then he comes back and he's like, "Oh, my fault. They were in a different bowl that wasn't in the picture." Were you trying to tell me that you didn't look at the picture before you posted it and typed all
Pics-
about the delicious mashed potatoes?
Picture it didn't happen, son. I mean, you know, you tell me you got mash
Right.
and you ain't got
For
no
all I know-
mash. You
for
didn't
all I
make
know-
mash.
They could have been Hungry Jack instant potatoes. I don't know.
Now, I ain't judging a brother about eating instant mashed potatoes because instant mashed potatoes are one of the greatest gifts
Staple.
mankind has ever given itself.
Oh, you want to?
My
You're
wife
from the
gets those
south. You can
ones that
back
are
me
already
up on
made.
that.
I am not from the South. I'm from Illinois. I just live in the South.
Kankakee.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
from
Sorry, you
Kankakee.
eat in the south. I've seen your belly. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, shut up.
clothed. But
You got
Don't tell.
You did
mashed
share a bed
potato
together.
flakes and use them as the breading for fried chicken.
Yes, we did that in Illinois too. Yes, and my mom, who was from St. Louis, she used barbecue potato chips for the breading for chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boom.
that's cheating. That's like two birds with one stone right there.
I've had
That
potato
was
chip
you
fried
and
chicken,
chips.
and I've also had cornflake fried chicken. And cornflake fried
Yeah,
chicken,
cornflake is okay.
it's pretty dang on good.
It
And I don't
ain't got
even
no
like
flavor.
cornflakes.
I hate cornflakes. Ain't got no flavor. They're a waste of mass.
I don't know.
Efficacious is not an IT word. Don N5SKT. It's a paramedic word.
Don should know better.
So do you guys have to throw away stainless steel needles after a certain point? I always thought that was crazy.
No,
What do you
we
mean
never-
stainless steel needles?
They were all single use, Chuck. We opened them up. We used them.
No.
and we chucked them.
I know that, but if you didn't use them within a certain date,
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
born-on
yeah,
date, I thought that was
yeah.
kind of stupid.
Cape Cod's got it going on. Cheese it.
It was kind of stupid because it's like the needle ain't going bad. I think it's because
Hey,
of the
Dad.
plastic or something on the fitting, on the lure lock. I
It
don't
had to
know.
be something like that.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Grown up fireman stuff.
Fire stuff, son. Montgomery.
Around here, we don't call them
No,
grown up. Never mind.
Pint Lala fire.
That
Pint
joke
Lala,
would
Chuck.
not have
Pint
gone over
Lala.
properly.
You were in San Francisco fire, right?
Right. Only when I was
Driving the truck through.
well, yeah, the tiller truck.
Did you really drive a tiller truck?
No. We
Okay.
didn't. We're a little podunk town, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We ain't got no tiller truck.
We had trucks
Yeah.
off and on, but not.
So
a tiller.
my recommendations when dealing with the IT security people and they start saying that, hey, I'm worried about this system not being secure. I've taken the approach of, oh, cool, turn it off.
Yep.
Right. I will go let the business users that rely on this to generate revenue know that you turned it off. So go ahead. It's cool.
Listen, I'm probably kicked out of the secret fraternity of IT security professionals because I work at a small company. I just don't give a shit about most of it. It's good enough. We're probably okay. Rock on.
Good. Rock on.
Vern, you got here a little late. We already gave your channel the promotion and you missed it. You're gonna have to watch Team
And
Replay.
I talked about
Yeah,
I
you have
talked
to watch
about
it later, Vern.
how many views he had on one of his videos.
Said he was a
More than Tim
fantastic
has on his whole
human
channel.
being. He's a good speller. Alex said all kinds of nice things about
That was
it.
crazy.
You know, he's been
Good
doing
speller.
YouTube for 11 years. Just a little.
He did what?
He's been doing YouTube for 11 years.
Yeah.
Just a
Well,
little-
back to
Dusty,
vertical
I know.
antennas. Why don't one of you guys talk a little bit about something like the Wolf River Coil vertical antenna? Or
well, I was going to talk about one, but you guys interrupt. I mean,
Go ahead.
go.
What does
He's
what
got
does
one
T.O.
right there.
got over there?
He's
Let's see
got
what
one.
T.O.'s
Wolf
got. He's
River
not being
Coil.
all salty pants.
No, you said talk about it, so I brought out the prop. I'm the prop
He
guy.
did.
What do you
Brought the
got
one
there,
you asked
T.O.?
for.
This is the Wolf River Coil. And this is actually pretty cool. You can make these really easily, but they do a fantastic job. Jerry and Terry do a fantastic job of making these things. This is stainless steel wire wrapped around a former, and the former is PVC pipe. And then as you move this up and down, you are
Threaded.
changing the length of the coil. So it connects right here with this wire, goes through here to this stud, and then from there it wraps around the coil until it goes out your antenna, out your whip. But as you move it down, you're adding more coil, and as you move it up, you're removing coil, and it makes that duck sound. And what you do is this is a resonant antenna, and you plug it into
I
your
thought
radio.
I thought that was Jim making that noise. I'm sorry.
You move it up until you get the loudest amount of noise on your radio, and then you can kind of move it around the outside to get it perfect SWR, or you can just cheat. Once you get the loudest amount of noise, you can just hit the tune button on your radio, and you're good to go.
Well, hot damn. And what is that, a 17-foot whip you have on there?
This one is only a 6-foot whip, but I do have a 17-foot whip for it. And then a
And
trick
then
I
so
found
what-
the other day that I would try, but it's kind of arguable, is put your ham stick on top of it.
Oh, man, don't be messing with no ham sticks.
What you want to ruin it for?
Why don't you whip it out, Steve?
Yeah, Chuck is right around ruining it with the ham stick. And, I see a lot of people use ham sticks. I don't see a lot of radial systems on them, but we'll talk. I guess we'll get to those.
I do.
Is the radial
When I use ham sticks, that's already.
So, Chuck, you actually build a.
same here.
You got a spike, the Chuck spike, right? And you have a vertical antenna that you
Yeah,
use
somebody
there.
stole it. I mean, go ahead.
Ceiling.
So,
sorry.
explain a little bit. Oh, there. Tio's got one right there with a little ham
Chuck
stick
spike.
action on there.
Now explain that, Stephen.
Yes, sir, James. This
Please.
is the bottom of my ham stick. And don't want to offend Ape at all. But what you do is you get one of these mounts, and this actually happens to be a dipole mount, so I can shove another ham stick off in the other direction and piss off twice as much.
Lord, I can't even imagine.
2 times the 8 butt hurt.
Yeah, when you get these, this plate here is actually turned 90 degrees sideways, and you wouldn't want to put your spike in the ground that way. So you just undo all those bolts, turn it sideways, and get yourself a tent stake from the local hardware store, Harbor Freight, whatever, and put that in there, and then it'll
Take
shove
it
right in the
easy.
ground.
Take it easy.
Wait a minute. now.
Settle down.
Unscrewing.
That's not a steak. This is a steak.
Holy moly! Let's look at Chuck's
Chuck's
steak.
Chuck's is bigger than yours.
That's a steak.
Chuck's using
Chuck's got a
concrete
girthy
former
one.
steak.
I didn't realize that.
Length and girth on that one. That's right.
Right.
Ooh,
I don't
Canada
know.
Joe's up in the chat, and he's a ham stick advocate. I'm just saying.
And those
He's
are
also a
3/8.
Canadian. He's also a Canadian. All right, and we're just going to leave. We're going to leave. Why don't you go get your Canadian bacon and your maple syrup and go play with your ham stick?
Whoa,
and
whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
We say
whoa,
nothing about
whoa,
maple syrup.
whoa.
Take it easy.
Or Canadian bacon, because I'll pour maple
Yeah.
syrup all over Canadian bacon
I know,
with
Yeah,
grits.
but you
Yourself.
shouldn't because you're supposedly this Montgomery, Alabama firefighter.
I am
Disgrace.
not. I don't live in
Disgrace.
Montgomery. I have not ever been in Montgomery Fire. I don't live in Montgomery.
Well,
I
what
work
was
in
that? Was
Montgomery.
was it you or was it Tio that was pouring syrup over? Oh, never mind. We're gonna go there.
Thank you.
You're getting served up.
So, I have one of those 5 BVTs Hustlers.
Yep.
I had it up for a while. I didn't keep it up very long. I think I'm going to set it back up though and check it out again. I've got it all. I actually bought it for camping. I was looking for something that might be easy to set up. Put it off the back of the motorhome or something and throw some radios out. And after I did it, it's like I should have bought the 6 BVT because it has less parts. Kind of weird. But hey, Seahorn.
Pineapple on pizza is good.
That's
Oh,
right.
I don't know about
Seahorn
that.
is quadruply
Oh, are you
correct.
kidding me?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't think you fruit the pizza. It's just
Me too.
it's
Yeah.
just,
Do
You know what?
Yes,
The customer is always right.
Do you put tomatoes on pizza? Then you're fruiting the
different.
pizza.
it's
That's
different.
right.
The tomatoes are fruit.
Tomatoes, fruit.
It's
that's
not.
right.
It's different.
No,
I
it's
got
not.
that right in the
It's
It is
fifth grade.
different.
different in special world, maybe, but not in the rest of the world.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You can sit around eating your pineapple pizza all you want.
Oh yeah.
Who played this music? It's not.
I did. You gonna make fun of this music
Steve
too,
got
you
it.
whiny
No,
brat?
it's better than what Jim normally plays.
Yes, it is.
It is.
It's a good driving beat. I like that.
So
I do
The-
like
that
maple
6
syrup.
BVT I've
I'll
heard
take that
is-
part back.
I've heard that the BVT Hustler has been. I've heard it's a pretty good antenna. I didn't use mine very long because I already had other stuff up. But I think I am going to set it up and do some comparisons one day.
I want to share with you guys.
Might all.
The pain
This
that is
thing.
Maldol.
Is that the one
Yeah.
you had?
This is the
MFJ
one I
has
had.
That, right? MFJ
Yeah,
has it.
it's like 14 different models. It's the same thing. I guess that's what MFJ calls it. Is the 2389.
I actually have that upstairs.
What
Yeah,
is
I
it
thought you
sticking
got
out the
one to
sides?
review. Those are radials on the bottom.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
what
they
they
sent
say
me
for
one.
They
radials.
look like hams. They look like ham sticks, though.
They're
They're loaded radials, and then these
so
are
they
the
are ham
radiators, and it also is 2 meter, and it's a flaming piece. I thought it was. I mean, it worked, and it was better than nothing. But I spent $400 on something that I got rid of in 6 months or so because I couldn't stand it anymore. So
Hey, our Cartana Apollo is a lot.
It's because he's
cheaper.
been listening to you, Plasma.
Oh
You
yeah.
could have bought
How
at
many
least
bands
20
is
of
that
them.
one? That's 8 bands. Our new Apollo can actually do how many bands? It probably
JT, you had
a bunch
that.
of
You had
bands.
2 of those. You didn't know it was the. Yes, it had.
It took him 2 times to realize it was a problem.
Yes, the Q on that thing, the Q on that antenna is, I mean, it's like 1 or 2 hertz wide.
8 is.
It's tiny.
You know,
tiny.
that's the problem you'll find with any kind of antenna that's going to be loaded like that. You're not going to have it's kind of like a
Super narrow Q and
Well,
Well,
small
each one of
bandwidth.
those is loaded, right? And they're
Yeah.
super loaded given the short length of those
Yep.
those elements.
well,
They are
even
more loaded than a primate on Saturday night with a 6-pack.
right, right.
and we've seen them try to type.
Been saving that one for a while, Jim.
See, I don't know where you're going to. Dusty's asking about a vertical recommendation for an apartment balcony. So I'm assuming if you're on the top floor, you know you can go pretty high. I would imagine. But if you're like on the 2nd floor and there's 3 floors on
Ham
that
sticks.
in that apartment building, you
Dusty,
got like
what bands
8.
do you want?
You got like 8 feet. I'm telling you, even squeezing like 20 meters in 8 feet is going to be tough.
Well, what a lot of
Ham
people will do
sticks.
is they'll use one of these clamps. I'm gonna go drop some stuff. They'll use one of these clamps on the railing of their balcony, and then put the antenna out at like a 45-degree angle. And you can put the 17-foot whip out at a 45-degree angle, and that's a 20-meter vertical.
Sloper.
It's a good vertical actually,
Yeah.
and your railing may actually be.
I say
part of your
vertical because
ground,
it's at
so-
45 degrees, not straight up and down.
Yeah, but
And-
that railing's going to cause you problems. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
that
gonna-
why would that railing not be your ground?
Better than not having an antenna up. 'cause
Right.
it's
That was what I was
elevated,
fixing to say. Yes.
because it's
Absolutely.
elevated, so it's not resonant on the frequency. But it's better than not having anything at all.
Right.
Put that whip out there, get your auto tuner on, and get your ham happening.
Sneak up on the roof. Drop you a wire
That's what
down.
Walt
right
did,
down the
right?
wire.
Didn't Walt say he went up the fire escape and put a vertical at the
Yeah.
top of the fire
Yes,
escape?
Santiago.
Or-
Santiago
yeah, if
was
you can
doing
do
that
that.
too,
So-
until his landlord
so-
said, "No
scoundrel.
mas."
Scoundrel.
So my brother-in-law lived in an apartment, right? And so one day he wanted to get on. We're getting on CB band. So we picked him up a 102-inch whip. We threw it up on the. It was like Abe's house, you know. You had the antenna police out there.
Apes
They
in the
never
house.
found it. We had it up on the roof and we put it back a ways, and he talked all over the place with that thing. He actually had a better location than I did. I had a better antenna, but he had a better location because he was up on the hill, and he talked all over the place.
The other thing,
So,
and Patrick's
Find
mentioned
something
it,
that blends in.
mag loop.
Yeah.
What is
lot of
doesn't MFJ
adjusting.
have like a flower pot full of soil that you can use as a
Yeah,
artificial
it's
ground?
a 2 meter. It's like a 2 meter.
No. It's like they have like a artificial ground. Or
Oh
something
yes,
like
they
that.
do. I've seen it. I don't know how I don't know how efficacious it would be.
Again, if it's all you can do, it's all you can do.
Right. And
You can
Steve's exactly right. Chuck a wire over the balcony and roll with it, son. It's better than nothing.
Do you guys prefer a vertical over a horizontal? Like if you only had one antenna, would you pick one?
Yeah, yeah, I do actually. I will go out on limb on record and say I prefer a vertical over horizontal.
Any
Depends on the
noise issues or
Depends
anything
on
like
the
that you're worried
horizontal,
about?
because
Not in my area, and the reason you're bringing that up is because the noise comes in at that 5-degree angle, and so you hear
Yep.
more noise on a vertical than you do. But I'm also hearing more signal, and it's an antenna that I have a lot of trees that are too close to the house, and then the trees that I do have are like pine trees. So climbing up those, you can't throw a wire into a pine tree easily. There's way too many branches.
Mm-hmm.
And then climbing up into a pine tree, you come down and you're just covered in pine needles, and underneath the pine needles is
And sap.
And
Yeah, it's no
bugs.
fun.
it's just a nightmare. It's just not worth it compared to the ease of just using an extendable fiberglass mast with a wire on it. I mean, a vertical antenna doesn't have to be any more than 16 foot in the air and 16 foot out the side, and you're good to go.
And Raphael's mentioned the wire. It's a wire and 10 meters of wire and a sinker out of the window, and that'll get you somewhere. You know,
I try
you
to
may
do
not be
that.
making 5,000-mile DX contacts, but
I try to do that when I'm like in Hawaii and stuff like that, when we were in a hot place. But a lot of times the friggin' windows are closed. But we did have a balcony. But the only thing I was leery of is hanging something down, and the people. I mean, I guess if you did it late enough at night or something, people.
yeah,
would
Chuck.
see
But
it,
what you were hanging down said Sony on it, so they thought you were a creeper.
No, just a wire, man. I did it, but you're going to lose some signal because of the building, I'm sure.
Because of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first HF
better than
antenna
nothing.
went out a window and ran horizontal for it was a 35-foot on a 9-to-1, and then I had a 17-foot counterpoise that just dropped straight down.
So here's the really cool part. You
use
know,
it that way.
put that vertical out the window, like Abe's saying. Work a bunch of states, work a bunch of countries, get a bunch of signal reports, and then put up a different antenna. Put the hamstick on the railing, and you'll get an entirely different set of people to talk to.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a super great point.
So I mean, like if I wanted to work Alaska from here, I'd have to set up a very specific time of day, antenna, power settings. I'd have to have a solution for that because I'm in a weird spot where I can't see it. I can work Texas all day long on my vertical. It's
Yeah, sorry to hear
best-
that.
I know. It's my best responses come out of Texas all the time. And then
Ain't
I can
nothing in
check out
Texas.
in California.
Steers and Don.
Yeah.
Steers and hams.
Well, I think
Steers
that's a
and
good
hams.
point. It's a good point. Is that whatever you have, change it up. That's not me. Is change it up a little bit, and then it's going to change, right? It's you're going to get different contacts in different locations, different geographies, and it's fun.
Yeah, Liberty's right, and so is Joseph. 73 and 35. Come on now.
Is there anybody after us tonight?
Is the Castler on?
No,
I don't know
I
if
think
you
the
saw-
Kessler's on a medical leave or something.
I had the show starting an hour early. I don't know if you saw that. I had to change it.
We did.
We did one.
No,
And
I don't know if anybody told me.
Castler's not coming up after us. He's on live right now.
Oh, well, there you go.
well, okay, whatever. Did he start early or
He always
obviously?
does. He
always
always
does.
does to get everything running a little early. He doesn't officially start the show until
Okay.
8 o'clock Central.
So I would say, as far as a vertical versus a horizontal, at someday I would like to get a decent horizontal put up just to see the difference. Don, N5SKT programmer, has you weirdo, has a loop on the ground, and that's something else I want to explore because the noise with the log is going to be like nothing. But like Steve, where I'm at out in the county, I don't have a noise issue, so the vertical works fine for me. For the space it doesn't take up, it's great. For the lack of drama to get it put up
Hey, no code.
is great. So I don't know.
Yo.
So I would also go out on a limb, and I'm going out on a lot of limbs tonight. I would say that you should also check for RFI sources in your radio system. You'd be surprised what your USB cable from your computer is shoving back at your radio.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I don't have much noise. I use mainly horizontal here because I've got Yagis and the doublet. And they do great. I mean,
Well, noise can also make it
I can't
prevalent
complain.
on your noise floor, right? And so the thing is,
Right.
like, if I have a 20-meter dipole and a 20-meter vertical out back, my noise floor is going to be an S unit or two higher on the 20-meter vertical than it is on the dipole. And that's just that most man-made noise is vertically polarized, and that's what's going to give you stuff.
Why is it vertically polarized? Do you know?
Well, I mean, if you think about like television broadcast, a lot of that has moved towards satellite and cable and stuff like that. But actually, it used to be horizontal back in the day. I guess it's broadcast radio, AM and FM. That's throwing some noise out there. I don't have an official answer. I just know that most of it is vertically polarized.
Scott's asking if anybody has a video on tuning the Wolf River coil.
Scott, I am actually in the
River
process
does.
of typing up a comment for you. I do have a video that will demonstrate what I'm talking about, where I'm saying, tune for the most noise. And what you're doing is, if you listen to HF radio, you hear that background static of just nobody being there. That's the kind of noise that I'm talking about. I have a video on tuning a different antenna than the Wolf River coil, but it's the exact same technique. And then I will have one for the Wolf River coil when I get around to it.
Now that's similar to, and one of us needs to do a video on this, and since I have one, I guess I should do that. That's similar to what you're going to do with a pre-selector. If you put a pre-selector in your antenna chain, is you tune that pre-selector for the most noise for the band. If I remember right. I had it, I still have it, I just don't have it installed at the moment.
What in the dang world is a pre-selector?
Well, I don't remember at the moment. I bought it because I thought it was a good idea. With a crappy antenna, it just didn't really make it less crappy. So
There you go.
Right.
Atmospheric noise is vertical.
Yeah, but sometimes I have my DX commander set up, the one I built myself originally, along with my doublet, and sometimes hearing people on the vertical noise was better than hearing on the noise on the horizontal antenna. So it's not that it's always a bad noise, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've had times when the noise was different, and maybe that person's voice came through better. You know what I mean? I would switch between
Raphael.
the two, and I probably will put my vertical back up one of these days. I actually think about redoing my yard, putting a bunch of chicken wire or something down underneath again, and then tying all that stuff into the radials and make a spot for my antenna to set. And even if I don't keep it up all the time, but
well,
I
they
might
got
run
pills for that. So
Yeah, this guy's talking on 20 right now. He's like 20 over.
And I got to say,
somebody's got a radio going in the background.
the reception difference that I got, not just even talking about the making contacts, but the reception difference was huge. Huge, I tell you, when I went to the DX Commander. And Callum has spent, and I don't want this to sound like a DX Commander commercial, but Callum spent a ton of time
He's done
tweaking
an awesome
that
job.
thing. Yeah. And the brother knows what he's doing when he created that antenna. And I'm jealous
almost-
of
almost
Carlos
gotten
with his
his-
Nebula. I need one. But
What does he call it? The Rapide, the 40
Yeah.
and 20 meter vertical.
mm-hmm.
So I might have to check that one out.
Don, what antenna are you talking about?
So you could slap that up and take that down for Karen sees it, Abe.
Well, I probably could leave that one up because I do have some trees in my yard, but the trees are only about 20 feet tall. And so
Well, it's
the thing is, if I
spray
have
painted green,
if I have a
7350.
35 foot, what's that?
I was talking to Don.
If I've got a 35 foot, collapsible, whatever it is, sticking up in the air, everybody's going to see it and be like, I'm calling the police.
The HOA police.
They might call the real police. Around here, you never know.
Whatever
Just
works,
do a
man.
20 foot, just do a 17 footer out in the back and try that for a while. Who's going to see it? Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I could do that. I just haven't had a real.
Yeah,
need
I
to.
mean that Rapide is not. How tall is that pole? Is it 10 meters on the Rapide? I thought it was
Yeah,
seven.
I don't know.
7 or 8.
7 meters. Yeah. So what is that? 20
21 feet, 22
Yeah.
feet. So I mean, spray paint it green, fasten it to your
that's
tree, and Karen will
gonna
never
help.
notice.
I'm going to try to spray paint it invisible. If I could do that, that would be.
I'm just white trash it, son. It'll be fine.
Gray's a good color if you get it in the air.
Yep, gray's a great color. Mm-hmm. Get fancy
gray,
and go camo gray, green.
Right
Yep.
thumb.
It's the 7350T, Don.
All right. Well, you boys got anything else you wanted to add to it? Are we gonna any
I think
questions? in the
Don's
chat?
trolling me. I think Don knows I'm not going to like that antenna. The Gaybill GRA 7350T.
Grable.
But HOA Ham,
Noco
HOA
Tech
Ham
wants to
loves
try
it.
6 meter.
That's the one Bob did a video on. I haven't seen his
Yeah.
video yet.
Yeah, he likes it.
Yeah,
It's
check
a
that out.
it's a version. It's a flavor of the Wolf River Coil style.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, Don.
And
probably gonna
Noco
work
Tech
out really
6
well.
meters totally dead here. I don't know where you live. I forget where he lives. Where's
Vern,
he
we
live?
even talked nice about you too.
Except kind words. Kind words.
And
Well,
I think
except
you have
for-
excellent taste in alcohol. So there's that.
What does
I
he
think he has
drink?
excellent taste in YouTube channels.
Well, that too. That goes
What
without
does he?
saying.
What does he drink there?
He
Playboy?
brought some fancy nice bourbon
Prohibition
to
style.
I can't. It was it? I don't remember the brand. Was it Old Forester?
Vern,
1910.
what's the name of that bourbon that you brought?
He's too busy rewatching where we said nice things about him. He ain't gonna answer.
Hey, throw a link in the. You got a link for the antennas? Steven wants one.
It's the barefoot
Yeah,
guys.
hold on.
The
I got one. I
barefoot
think
guys.
should already be one in the banners, or not. Nope.
I see
There
Discord
used to
there.
be.
Nope.
It's
changed it.
thebarefootguys.com. There it is. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you hit that one because if you write it in wrong, you get something really weird.
The is very important. Otherwise, you might be uncomfortable in your hand bits. Just
That's
saying.
right.
Your ham
And
bits.
and like I said, if you guys get those ordered tonight or early tomorrow morning, they'll get out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
or
you're
even-
dealing with the Labor Day
or
weekend.
even Saturday. Well, yeah. Well, I think a lot of our antennas have been making like 2 to 3 days, right?
Generally. I think Shooter said he was still waiting on his, and isn't he in Texas?
Shh. Did he just order his?
Yeah,
No.
he ordered it. He said 2 days ago.
Oh,
I
it
didn't
should be
check.
there.
I don't know.
Should be there. He can look it up, can he? Off the site.
Yeah, he's got the tracking number.
Yeah, he's gonna say he should have a tracking number.
They get the tracking number as soon as I generate labels.
Yeah, our new way is way better than when we were,
Discording.
doing the PayPal stuff.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
That was a hassle because the thing is, I would say, hey, if you're going to order something on PayPal, make sure you put your call sign, your Discord name, and your government name, if
Illinois.
you don't mind, in the comment section. And nobody would. And then just trying to backtrack everything was tough. Old
Shooters-
Forester 1920 is what he had.
Yeah, it was buttery smooth.
1820.
That was the best bourbon I believe I've ever drank. That was excellent. That was excellent.
Get me a bottle of that.
Steve, what's our
Old
show on
Forester.
Saturday morning?
We're going to talk about calling CQ, breaking into pile-ups, breaking into rag chews, breaking out of rag chews. That's the one skill that I need to learn.
I'm gonna break up a rag chew right here.
I got to poop.
Oh, I'm on the wrong channel.
No, we're talking
Cars, my
about
brother's kids.
getting out of rag shoes.
Oh,
You guys, anybody wants to talk to a big station right now?
I cracked myself up.
14283. The guy's like killing it. I think he's on the East Coast.
so all that's going to be on Saturday morning. That's awesome.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I'm gonna
Ape, what do
break
you
a
got
pile up
going
right
on
now.
your channel?
I don't have anything too exciting going on. I did get Don N5 SKT convinced me to buy this amplifier. It's like a 45 watt Chinese amplifier that showed up today, and I believe I paid around $175 for this. So if I don't like it, Don will have to reimburse me $175.
I think
If
plus
you don't
interest.
like it, send it my way.
And then you
Is
get
the
to
way I
keep it
see
right
it.
too.
But it needs some modification to work with the 705. So he uses his with his Hermie light, and he's had great success with that. So that's probably what I'll do first.
Well, that's an icon thing. That's those used to be like 119 or 98 bucks. At one
The
time,
chip
yeah.
shortage, son, and everything's going up.
Raphael, you just tell him you got to go change out your bag. Got no
Good for
instructor
40
about-
watts. Good for 40 watts.
He sure did 6188. That's the mod that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you got coming up?
I got some more stuff on the G90 that's going to be coming out of the pipeline. I got to show off more of that Elecraft radio that I stole from you. Oh, sorry. And-
Whatever.
He's not heard about it at all, folks.
No, I'm not. I told you could have my girl, man. It was
Sounds
okay.
like
Bro
it.
code was
Sounds
not
like it.
broken.
That's
Bro
why
code
it's a
was
funny
not
joke
broken.
to keep talking about. Because
Yeah.
if I really did steal it from you, nobody would see it on YouTube.
Right.
I'd be embarrassed that I was that low.
Chuck,
Yeah,
what
and
have you
looking
got?
At that
Oh,
amp
I'm
for
sorry.
818 no code.
What have you got coming up, Chuck?
Yeah, I've got the 817. I might hook it up to that.
I don't know. Nothing. I've been too busy doing other things, yurts and antenna builds. I mean,
You ain't
kits,
dropped a video in a while.
kit builds. Yeah, it's been a week or so. I'll get something out. I'm supposed to do the second part of the gain antenna thing, but I don't know. Didn't seem super popular with people. I guess they don't care about gain antennas. So
I care.
I don't know. Well, until you used one, you don't know, right?
Chuck's not bitter
Right.
or anything about it.
No, not a
I'm just-
bit.
No, it didn't seem like it was that popular of a video, so I don't know. If
See,
I'll
I don't
agree to it
even
or not.
look. I guess I should eventually, and if I'm actually ever a real
saw that
YouTuber
no
like
code?
you guys, I do the video I want to do, and I roll with it. I just don't care.
Yeah, I just record a video and I post it. And I don't backlog them or stack them up or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Just post it up.
And then you're
I'm
amazed
like an
by
addict.
the one you posted that it did well, because you seemed in the chat, you were like, I don't believe this.
I don't
Right.
think
I was
mine-
watching like, yeah, it's not going to do well. And then people are like, I love
Yep.
this video.
The one I did today, I didn't think people would like all that much.
Yeah.
The one with the 4 screens, I was like, nah, I know exactly where they're going to leave this video.
I
'cause
did.
You can
I
watch
did.
and-
That's where you left it.
That's where I left it. I knew where he saw. I think we saw a preview of that though on our
Yeah.
internal chat, right? Same
Yeah, like
place
5
I left
months
it
ago
that
when I
time.
recorded it.
Yeah, I remembered it. I was like, oh yeah, this is where I bailed out of this video the first time.
Okay,
I've got.
buy it,
I'm
yeah.
planning on doing another
Thank you, Shooter.
scanner related video. Probably get it out tomorrow.
You said tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here waiting. Come on.
Well, you
I
good?
still
Hold your breath.
do my 70 centimeter antenna video. I just
Don,
I
you
think
can
I
send that
Steven,
right on my way.
Thank you, Steven. I appreciate the support.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Guys, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Had a good time tonight.
Hey,
Thanks,
everybody. Thanks
in
for
the,
being here.
Bye bye.
panel.
Bye bye. K, thanks. Bye. KK. Bye bye.